Oh my goodness. Okay, we're getting the speaker hooked up. Here we go.
Can you see me okay? I was trying to answer on my computer, but my computer wasn't ringing, just my phone. So.
Okay, no, we got you. You're good.
Okay, good.
So, Karen, this is 6th graders of Lamar Middle School.
Get out of here, Tyler.
Alright, and, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, you were just looking at me. So.
Hi.
Oh, hi. Alright.
Teachers don't get to watch house hunters and do things like this.
Okay, so they're going to come up a couple of people at a time and just ask questions. We just watched the episode, so they may, and I've not screened these questions, so let's hope that they're on there. All right, we'll go ahead and let them get started. You guys tell her your name whenever you come up here. Table 1.
Tyler Radical.
Hi,
From
Tyler. How are you?
Great. I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Cause she was complaining on table 3 or house 3 that she didn't like the dishwasher. Did she install one later?
That's a great question, and a lot of people in Tamarindo have actually asked her that when they see her. And no, she still does not have a dishwasher. She lost her pants.
That's your friend. Was house 3 your favorite as well?
Was House Hunters my favorite?
Was house 3 your favorite?
Oh, House 3, the one that she picked, yes, that was my favorite also. It had a great ocean view, and it was just in a great location, yes, and it was newer, so that was my favorite too. Those are good questions.
Thank you. All right, table 2, or Mr. Van, table 1. Hi, I'm Taylor.
Hi, how are you?
I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
What was your main concern about the house that she chose?
Probably my main concern was that it was further from town. The other 2, it's in a good location, but it was further from town. And when she chose that home, she didn't have a car yet, and she has a daughter, obviously. And so I was concerned that they were going to be walking quite a ways to get into town, because they had to walk to go to the grocery store and any errands that they needed to run. It was just further away. So I had some concerns about that location, but I did love the condo the best.
Oh, and what did you like about Costa Rica?
I love everything about Costa Rica. I love the beaches. I love the people. Costa Rica is a lot more laid back, and people, they don't really get in a hurry. For instance, if you go to dinner, they don't ever bring your ticket. You have to ask for it. They don't get in a hurry about anything. So you don't have that rat race in Costa Rica like you do here. So it's just much more laid back, and it's beautiful. I love the ocean, the beaches. So yes, I love everything about Costa Rica. You're welcome.
Okay, table 2. And Mr. Van, table 2.
Hi, I'm Jack.
Hi, Jack.
Why did she choose that house even though it did not meet all of her needs?
Because it was newer, and she was on a pretty tight budget, and so anything else did not fit her budget. If she had gone, a little bigger, or she liked some that were closer to town that had dishwashers, something that, just the nicer ones she could not afford because she was on a pretty tight budget. So that's why she chose that house.
Is it more expensive here or in Costa Rica?
Honestly, it's probably about the same. I would say that, especially, housing is really not cheap there. But food, the place that we're in, Tamarindo, is kind of touristy. So, around Tamarindo, you can live a little cheaper, but right there in that area, it's a lot of tourist visits. So it's a little, I would say it's probably a little more expensive than America in that area.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Him.
How long did it take to film the show?
You know, that's a good question. It took, you wouldn't believe it, for a 30-minute show, it took 5 days to film. We started it on Monday morning at 7:30, and on Monday we filmed until 8:30 that night. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we filmed from about 8:30 till 5. So we filmed the entire week. So that just shows you they edit out a lot of that. And for each part that we had to film, we had to go back and redo it like 3 or 4 times just because they had to get different angles. And so we were repeating ourselves a lot. So it takes a long time to film something like that.
Okay, and also, do they have many beaches?
Many beaches?
Yeah. Like
Well, there are a lot of beaches around Tamarindo. Tamarindo it's just one long beach. So, but yes, they're surrounded by beach and water. Okay?
Hi, I'm Duncan.
What is your name?
Duncan.
Duncan. Okay, hi Duncan. I like your name.
Why did the construction matter so much if it was going to end in 6 months? Because that's not very long, so.
You're right. She was just worried that even though it was only going to, even though it was temporary, she just didn't want to have to put up with that construction and hear the banging every day. And so even though it was temporary, that was just one of her concerns, was she was afraid it would be too noisy. And also she was, some of the workers she was a little concerned about. So that's why she was kind of nervous about the construction right there by that condo.
Okay. And are there a lot of robberies in Costa Rica? Because she was worried about the security in the house with the sliding door.
There can be. You have to be careful. You always have to make sure that your doors are locked. They do have break-ins a lot more frequent there than they do here. A lot of the people in Costa Rica they're very poor, and so they're always looking for an opportunity. So if you leave a door open or whatever, they're going to come through. They really don't ever have bad things like, assaults or murders, but they do have quite a few break-ins just because people there are pretty poor and they're always looking for some opportunity to, they have TVs stolen, iPads. Whenever you visit, we usually always put everything in the safe, just so we won't have that, just in case that happens. But yes, they do have quite a few break-ins in Costa Rica.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It's our turn? Yes.
Mr. Fans Table 3, you're up.
Okay, so I'm Kylie, and I want to ask you, do you still like y'all's house?
Well, it was actually my friend's house that I went with her to. We live there too, and yes, we love our house. But Nancy still loves her condo. She has no plans to move. They are perfectly happy there. They've met all their neighbors. They feel secure. All the construction is finished. So yes, she loves her place.
Okay, that's all.
Okay. Y'all have some good questions.
My name's Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
What was the cost, like, usually the main cost of living in Costa Rica?
The main cost, I would say it's probably, probably your mortgage. Your house is your biggest cost. But it's also kind of costly just to go to the grocery store there. Groceries are just a lot more expensive. I would say probably, even for a bottle of water, in the grocery store, you're probably looking at probably $2.50. So food is pretty pricey there. So other than mortgage, I would say, and gas. Gas is very expensive there as well. So probably mortgage, gas, and then food.
And also, how long has it been like since she started living there?
She has been there, I think it's almost been 2 years that she's been in Costa Rica.
Can I just ask you, so do y'all have a car there?
Yes, we do. A lot of people do not have cars. The majority of people either walk or they ride bikes. We have a car there, but really, honestly, I prefer to ride my bike. It's just fun. It's Tamarindo's a little laid-back beach town, a little hippie town. So it's fun just to see everybody out on their bikes, you know. So yes, we have a car, but we don't use it a whole lot.
I'm Ellie, and in class we are learning about how Costa Rica is like one of the main cultures is dancing. So we were wondering if you could teach us how to salsa dance. Oh yeah.
Did your teacher put you up to that?
It wasn't me.
It was mine. You know what? As soon as she teaches you to dance, Skype me again, and then I'll teach you how to dance. But I'll let her teach you first.
There's 5 minutes.
Okay,
David.
No, I'm saying, I have a question. Like, can you only choose from 3 houses and house owners?
Oh, are we on?
Well, you know, she probably actually looked at, I would say she probably looked at 8 condos altogether, but the show just has time to do 3. So she narrowed it down to those 3, and then that's what they filmed. And actually, one of the houses, the second house was not the exact house because it had sold whenever they got ready to do House Hunters. The way House Hunters works is you actually pick the house and then they come back and film. So the second house had already sold, but she looked at one that was almost just like the house. So it's just due to time.
My name is Rachel, and my question is, what is it like to live in Costa Rica?
You know, I go down to Costa Rica probably for about a month at a time, and it really is totally different. As I said earlier, it's just a lot more laid back. Really, time is of the essence in there. Really, nobody pays attention to time. And so it's just fun to go down there and lay on the beach and play in the water and surf. You get fresh seafood. So, you know, it's just a lot more laid back there. You can relax more. And here, it's really not like that. It's more of a, you know, more of a rat race. So it's just more relaxing down here, I guess I could say.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
this is go ahead.
Hello, my name's Ryan, and I was wondering, what is your favorite food to eat?
My favorite food is called sole champagne, and it's a sole fish. It's a fresh fish with a cream sauce. Seafood is big down there just because it's so fresh. The lobster down there is really good as well. So for people that don't like seafood, they're kind of out of luck. Although I will say Tamarindo is very well known for their pizzas. Their pizzas down there are wonderful.
Hi. I'm a
Hello.
really big 6th grader. I was hoping that you would tell us what sort of pets that people keep there.
Pets, dogs are very, very popular there. You see dogs everywhere. A lot of people, even vacationing, take their dogs down and they play on the beach. The sad thing is you see lots of stray dogs running around there. I don't really know where they come from, but there are dogs everywhere. And a lot of them just skinny little, you know, you can see their little ribs poking out. So it's kind of sad. I don't know where they come from, but it's primarily dogs. You see lots and lots of iguanas and monkeys in the street too. Which is probably one of my favorites. I'm obsessed with monkeys. I want to see one every time I come home. So dogs primarily, but as far as just wildlife, iguanas and the monkeys are everywhere.
No cats?
You don't really see many cats. You see a few cats in the restaurant. The owners bring their pets to work, which is kind of weird. It's kind of strange to go in a restaurant and see animals.
For mice.
That's normal there, so you just have to get used to it.
I love it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. I know you are.
Alright. Okay, I wanted to know what's some popular. I want to know popular traditional foods that are there. Do you know any that's like what they're famous for? Puerto Rico, Costa Rica.
Really, they're not. They are very popular for their pizzas. It's really just their pizzas and their seafood. To get a good hamburger down where we're at in Tamarindo, we don't really care for their beef down there, so we kind of avoid any kind of beef, red meat. So it's primarily just seafood that they're known for, and their pizza.
Pizza. My name's Jack.
Pizza.
Hi, Jack.
I wanted to ask, what are the popular beaches?
What are the popular beaches? There's a beach called Cocoa Beach and a Papagayo Beach. Those are probably two of the most popular beaches there. And they're different. One has black sand and then one has white sand. So they're different beaches, but they're just beautiful. There's no trash. They're just very, very pretty to go hang out on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, my name is David. I have a question.
Okay.
Is your garbage disposal still running?
Let me see. Is that a trick question?
I don't know. You decide.
I get it. Garbage disposal is still running. Yes, it is.
Well, you mentioned it on the show, I guess. But you have a garbage disposal.
Yeah. Our garbage disposal is still running. I forgot about that.
Why would he ask?
Running.
It's still running. What would you make
Okay, my name's Dalton, so now I need to ask you a question. How has her daughter adjusted, and how is she doing now?
That's a good question. A lot of when she first got there, she did not like it. They came from Hawaii, so moving from Hawaii to Costa Rica, she at that age she left all her friends, and she was not happy. She wanted to go back. She cried for probably the first 6 months and didn't want to go to school. But now that she's been there for a while, she loves it and she does not want to go back. She's fit in perfectly. She's got lots of friends. And, she knows Spanish now, so she's bilingual. And it makes me feel bad when I'm there because she knows more Spanish than I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, I'm Rod.
Hi.
Alright, my table group came up with 2 questions. Both of them were answered though, so I came up with 1 question kind of last minute. So,
Okay.
the house number 1 and house number 3 were both not sold by the time she chose, right?
Exactly.
So, house number 1, I saw on the thing it said like $195 per month for mortgage. And then house number 3 had $500. So if she was worried about costs, why wouldn't she have chosen house number 1 over house number 3?
That is a good question. They actually really worked with her on the price. They came down on the price quite a bit. So that's why she was able, and she did kind of go over her budget just a little bit, but she really wanted that condo since it was newer. So that's why she chose that one.
So she wanted the more modern condo.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does Mr. Vance have a show?
Span 7?
Mr. Why don't you go ahead and go?
Oh, there you
I'll
go.
just go. Okay.
What does she do for a job?
She does not work. When she was working in Hawaii, she had a great job. She worked for the military and she was top security clearance. So she had a great job and she just saved money. And then after Jacqueline's dad passed away, she decided to make a fresh start. So they moved to Costa Rica and she had saved her money. So she's still not working. She had enough money to live on for 2 or 3 years before having to go back to work. So right now she's just being a mama, but she's looking for a job at this time.
We have another question.
Okay.
How'd you get on house hunters?
Well, we had a condo there already, and when Nancy went down, she decided that she was going to apply for the show, just because she wanted other people to know that there was hope. People going through, what she went through. So she just wanted them to know that there was, life after a tragedy such as the one she went through. So she just applied for the show, and they chose her. And since we were high school buddies, she just asked, and we already had a place there. She just asked me to be on the show with her to help her make a decision.
Well, like, where do you apply? So, like,
She just went online to House Hunters International and applied, and they selected her.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a couple more. We have about 10 more minutes before we go. But if anybody else has any other questions, I can come play
When 6th grade can go on a field trip to Costa Rica and stay with you.
Well, we're going back in December, so come home.
You froze.
Oh, did I froze? Did I freeze? Okay, sorry. We're going back in December, so you can come anytime.
I can go December break.
When's your buyout?
My parents are planning a cruise. Do you recommend Costa Rica is a great place to go?
Oh, definitely. Costa Rica is probably my favorite place in the world. I'm not sure if cruise ships actually dock in Costa Rica. I'm sure they do, but not around the place that we're at. But yes, if they have the opportunity to dock there, I certainly recommend that.
All right, any other questions, y'all?
Say that.
Hi, Justin.
I was wondering, what are the biggest sports in Costa Rica?
The biggest sports in Costa Rica are soccer. Soccer is like their football. So when you say football over there, they think it's soccer. So out on the beach, you're often people out playing soccer. They play it everywhere. Soccer, surfing is big, and then also on South Marindo, they like bull riding. So, yeah.
I bet you can find your foot.
And I was wondering, what's it like in the winter in Costa Rica?
They don't have a winter. They have rainy season and dry season. So they don't ever. It's always hot there. It's hot year round. But from probably, I would say August through November, it rains almost every day. The last time we were there, we got 8 inches in an hour. So it really screws things. But in dry season, that's why they like all the rain, because when it's dry season, they don't get any. And so everything is dry. They have lots of fires there. So you'll see lots of fires up on the mountain, and they just have to let them burn because there's really nothing you can do. So it's kind of sad when it gets so dry. But the weather is beautiful all the time as far as, it's always hot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
What is the religion there?
Roman Catholic.
The religion there, Catholic is probably the biggest religion. They also have, it's just called Tamarindo Church. It's non-denominational. and that's a Christian church, but the biggest religion there is Catholic.
Thank you.
Good question. You're welcome.
Gracias. Okay, I'm curious, in Costa Rica, if people were to go there, like, what would you recommend to do there?
There's lots of fun tours. Probably the biggest tour is going down the river where all the white, there's two different kinds of monkeys. There's white-faced monkeys, and those are the ones that will jump in the boat and climb on your head and crawl over you. And then the ones that you kind of see in the streets around Tamarindo are called howler monkeys, and those are mean monkeys. You have to be, if you stand underneath them, sometimes they'll poop and then they'll put it in their hand and throw it at you.
They are so
Okay, this will be the last question, okay?
My name is Ryan. My question is, has there been any shark attacks lately?
There have not been any shark attacks in Tamarindo. A couple hours away, they've had a couple of shark attacks over probably the last several years. But in the area that we're at, no, there have not been any. They worry more about crocodile attacks than they do sharks. Especially during rainy season, the crocodiles tend to kind of float out a little bit more. So they've only had one crocodile attack, but crocodiles are pretty common. You'll see those in the water, especially over around the estuary.
My question is, has there been any hurricanes or tornadoes around?
You really don't have to worry about hurricanes where we're at. They say, and I can't really remember the reason why, but they don't have hurricanes there. They have more earthquakes. In fact, the last time I was there, I felt an earthquake for the first time. It felt like I was sitting on the couch, and it felt like there was a big St. Bernard trying to get out from underneath the couch. It really scared me. And then I looked over and saw the lights, were swinging back and forth. So it was pretty cool to live through my first earthquake. But earthquakes are what you have to worry about down there. And then after an earthquake, then you have to worry about tsunamis, which luckily they've not ever had anything like that. But if you have an earthquake, they usually put out a warning for tsunami after that.
Okay, well, it's time to go back. I know you have lots of questions, but thank you.
Thank
you.
Gracias. She's not there. She's there. I know.
Thank you. Chairs in. Hey, my class is still here. Come on, chairs in.
This is an extra, Tara. Where did this go?
People left. People left.